So what I'm going to do is go over one problem of each type with you. We'll just go through each problem set and kind of look at what is happening in each one. So example 1, it says list the following numbers and the sets to which they belong. So the first thing you have to do is simplify it. If it is simplified, then you want to determine, okay, is it a real number? And in this case, the answer is yes. Is it rational, meaning does it have a fraction or can you rewrite a decimal as a fraction? Anything over 1 is a fraction, so it is rational. Is it a positive or negative number with no decimals? Yes. So that means it's an integer. Is it 0 and above with no fraction or decimal? Yes. So that makes it whole and natural. Okay. The second thing we talked about was additive inverses. So we want to talk about our additive inverse and our reciprocal. So an additive inverse is the opposite. So that means this would be negative 400. The reciprocal is 1 over the original, not the additive inverse. So that's a mistake I see often. We try to rewrite it as 1 over negative 400. It's over a positive 400. In number 3, you are to evaluate the expression with the given values. So you're going to plug 3 in for every A, 4 in for B, and 9 in for D. Following order of operations, we have 12 plus 28 minus 18. So then you get 40 minus 18, which is 22. It's a good habit to start boxing in your answers. It'll make checking your answers easier. It also makes checking your tests for me easier. Okay, the second thing that we talked about in section 2 was combining like terms. So in letter A, you want to distribute and combine. So we get 6x minus 3 minus 8, giving 6x minus 11. And we're done. Okay, in example 5, we have solving for each variable. So in letter A, we want to solve for W. So maybe I start by subtracting 9W from both sides. Subtracting 4. Divide by negative 1. And we see that W is equal to 11. another part of the unit was to be able to rewrite expressions. So we have 8 more than. More than means to add or plus. The product, that means to multiply. Whatever follows of is what you're multiplying. So it says the product of a number and 100. So 8 more than means 8 plus the product of a number and 100. So that would be 100, n or x, whatever variable you pick. Okay, these are the ones I think we don't like very much. These are the literal equations. They're the ones I think gave us the most trouble even yesterday on the Delta Math review. So we have A equals 1/2 BH. Our goal is to solve for B. So the first thing I would do is get rid of my fraction by multiplying both sides by 2. So you get 2A equals BH. And then to get B by itself, H is being multiplied, so we divide. So you get B equals 2A over H. And then 8 is also a literal equation. And this time we're solving for x, but we have a's and b's. The first thing I would do is distribute. And then I would do what we would do if A and B were numbers. I would get the x's on one side and the numbers on the other. And then when you have the x's on one side, you can GCF them out. And then the last thing would be to divide by A minus B. Okay, so that pretty much summarizes like each of the different problem sets and what my goals are for you to know for tomorrow. There is an extra handout in there with some review for vocab. So the only thing not on this review handout is the vocab. So you need to make sure you know what all of your terminology is. There will be commutative, associative, identity, inverse, all of those properties will be on there in some way. So that is a page, that should be like the next page or the page before this page in your review packet. So we're going to spend the next couple minutes